spruce. It's been in here, I want to say 2 years, maybe 3. It's got this beautiful Yamadori, really thick. Not much movement, but this is sort of the best movement I get. I get a few little changes of angles up to the top from the core. It's pretty sparse on this one side, and it's angled. And I'd love to style it from there because I could just bring the branches around. It's already sort of cleaned up. But this was obviously not the sun side. There's not a lot of new growth here, and this is just no good. And what I really like about this tree is just this huge Yamadori coming out. These nice, really big roots. I don't get a lot of trees with huge roots like that. And so I really want to capitalize on that. This is crossing over, so I'm going to cut that. But yeah, it's really just going to be a selection of branches, try to get rid of some flaws, like some huge whorls that are forming. I probably won't get to wiring this thing, but at least I can do is give it a trim. And you can see the buds are really just shooting out, but they are shooting out everywhere, so I feel like it's strong this year, and I want to direct some of the growth. I just want to clean out a bit, make sure that water is getting down in here. Let's see if it's some moss. You know, this percolating well. Start to kind of work on these roots. See what we have here. Where fronts go. This is just. This is where it gets really thick. And you have these 2 roots coming here. This one kind of dies off right here. This root comes down, which is nice, and this has this nice bend. Maybe you catch too much of the back there. I'm kind of looking at movement. You get too much of this, it starts to thin out. What do you think? So there's some whorl sections, and then up high, I want to get the branches proportionally thick. So where I have lots of branches, let's see. That one's just so thick for up high. This too thick, right in the middle, in amongst the whorl. I am getting away from whorls now, so I've sort of cleaned up most areas. This is another area that's just a bit big right there. There's a lot coming out of this side of the tree. It's kind of on the inside of this curve, right? But I think if I use that branch back, I think there's room for it for now at this stage of the tree's life. So again, another huge branch. Good side in the tree for surely, but it's super big. So last little bit I'm going to do is just clean up all little dead branches in here. There's all kinds of little branches. This is going to prevent sunlight. I mean, not so much from down here, but it's just going to clean up the design. Let me get some clarity on it. So the tree is wired up. I'm thinking of bringing the direction this way a bit. Although at this point, I can't really prune for directionality. That's gonna have to be later on. I need strength in these lower branches, and mostly I just want to get this initial bend, like a downward motion. I like it to start. Then I want to get some undulation, some up and down, back and forth, and then position the branch pad where it originates from the tree. So not have, say, this branch, which may eventually be my primary branch, character branch, or directional branch, and maybe remove this. Oh, I do like this lower branch. Either way, I don't want to have it like this. Well, let's just start bending.
So what I was trying to say there is, getting the branches that come off lower in the tree or on the left side to stay lower on the tree on the left side, so the branches aren't crossing, to put foliage in certain positions. And this is just good sound structural practice, but also when you're first designing a tree, don't totally know the final design. You don't want to be getting branches crossed all over, and who knows where they're going to end up. The other thing I noticed is that maybe the top third of this tree could actually go off, just make it much more compact.
Here it is. So rough styling for sort of structural branch styling. Give you a closer look to at the Nabari. The angle that I'm thinking at is, I don't love seeing this back root, and it feels like a little hollow here. So I'm trying to get it right from this angle. And, it's really a balance because there's a certain amount of movement. Best movement's probably right here. But here is probably the best base. And there's still decent movement. But mostly, just trying to get the branches sort of a consistent type of movement and down. I wanted to have ups and backs and forths. I need to get backbutting all in here and pull these all back. And so, it looks like there's a lot of tree on there, but I took half of it off. So I'm a little wary of taking too much off more often. And then I just twisted the apex, as you saw, sort of up and around. There's these two goofy tops. You get their branches I'm going to hopefully need, so they'll be part of the apex at some point. So, it's very symmetrical, and I want to eventually push the movement this way, just because I feel like the swoop of the tree invites you in, and leans a bit to the right. I may not have it. The reason I have it tilted up is that the trunk starts to angle, and is that so bad? I'm not sure, because I definitely don't want to lose too much Nabari, right? If I have to flatten this, keep this in, this feels like a chunk chop, so it does feel like there's roots all growing out of it, but I have to be mindful of that and the width of the container, right? So I've got this big root, which I do like a lot. Okay, what kind of container I have to, this to be pretty big. So, when I look at the design now, I see the symmetry of it all, and it's way too shaggy and long. Knowing this, I need to push the back butting as much as possible. And I have situations like in here, where I'm going to start getting reverse swelling. The branch is up above quite high. I got both of these here, all three of them, so some of these are going to have to get taken off at some point. Same here, this is pretty thick. It is kind of on the inside of this curve, so that will just get rid of it at some point. If I leave the branches, it'll just grow out. And then this, that's very conducive to sort of, burls and whorls. And up top, I need a lot of branches, and, hopefully I'll get more smaller ones, and I can start to hide any chunkiness, get a little bit better taper at the top. And then just see which branches respond well to this, right? Fertilize quite heavily this year. See what kind of backbutting I can get, which branches, and then, make my selection at that point.